Peace and greetings, everyone. Peace and greetings. This is Mojo, and this is my channel, Magic and Progress. Thank you for tuning into yet another pick a card reading. Today's topic is, where will you be in 10 years? So we're doing some 10-year life predictions. This is 2019, so we're looking at from now up until 2029. So where you're going to find yourself in 2029. I have 4 decks here. Each of the decks numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 all have a stone that was randomly chosen just to help you tell them apart. This is a general reading, so keep in mind that some of the things in here may not resonate with you at all. That's totally fine. Just take what you need and leave the rest. I would say to choose according to your intuition. If you're more drawn to a certain stone or the way some of the cards are laying on the table, whatever it is that tickles your fancy. You may even have more than one deck to choose, and that's fine. I will leave the timestamp below so that you can just skip ahead to the deck or decks that you have chosen. Give me a moment here just to set the tone, get myself situated. I'm gonna clear my space with my tincture. Such a lovely sound. I really could do that 1,000 times in a row, but I won't do that to y'all. Go ahead and put those back up. Let me light my incense. Come on, baby. Get the candle going. And we are ready to go. Hopefully you use that time to center yourself, ground yourself. Now go ahead and choose, if you haven't already, the deck that calls out to you. This is one half of a Moki stone duo. It usually comes with another stone that's smaller and more rounder. The larger stone is considered the female of the pair. This is a rose quartz yoni egg. I have actually never used it for that intended purpose. I just like the way it looks. Excuse me. This is a prenite stone. It's black and kind of green. And here is a quartz point. Oh, excuse me, you guys. Okay, and without further ado, I'm going to get into pile 1 here. Let me just move these off to the side. Oh, the egg is rolling. Pile 1, Moki Stone. Let's see. I'm not going to read these reversed. From what I can tell, a lot of y'all, and I haven't looked at these cards already, it's just my intuition and awareness that's telling me a lot of y'all are about to have some adventures, some changes. Some of you guys may be coming up on your Saturn returns. So, yeah, fun times with that. Now, these tarot cards specifically, I chose the decks. My Wild Unknown deck by Kim Krantz only answers emotional questions. So things that pertain to relationships with other people, relationships with yourself. So these are speaking specifically to love and romance. And then my Rider-Waite Tarot deck, which is speaking to your mundane life. So day-to-day career sort of outlook. Okay. So overall, the guiding force of this time for you is going to be a spirit of healing. Which tells me that right now you may be at a point where things are not looking great for you, or you're about to or have just come out of, an unhealthy or unfavorable situation. Um, and so, this next 10-year period is going to be a time of healing for you, regrowth, re-education, understanding. I'm going to take a chapter from the book on this. This card says, I am the spirit of healing. I present ways of alleviating the many factors that cause sickness in both body and mind. If you are suffering, stand with me. With my help, you may grow strong again and throw off the darkness that has overshadowed your life. I will hold your wounded spirit gently in my hands and breathe upon it with the breath of healing. Restored, your spirit will return to your body filled with strength and purpose. So this may very well be a time of physical healing for you, not just something that is on a mental or emotional level. What I do see here with the Ace of Swords is a gift of the mind being given, something from, spirit, if that's what you would call it, in regards to a renewed mental outlook. So really over this next 10 years, you're going to have this opportunity to totally revamp your mindset, your outlook on life. And that's going to be encouraged by this spirit of healing that is taking, overall guidance on this 10-year journey for you. The question is, as always, what are you going to do with it? Let's see. I see swords. I see 2 cups. Let's see. I see pentacles. So 9 of pentacles. It looks like, looks like as far as your day-to-day life and career goes, like I said, renewing of the mind. That's going to help you, seek out your desired avenues with a fresh perspective. Maybe being more mature about things, whereas before, you were a little naive and not knowing. Now you have this awareness. Now you have this knowing that's going to propel you forward into the arenas and the areas that you want to go in. As far as dealing with partnership and people who you will work with, they will be mature themselves. Or it is also possible that, this mental awareness is going to help you be aware of people who are not mature, people who are not able to embrace new situations, new ideas, and have that energy that is often needed to catapult a new idea into a reality versus it just being a dream, something that you constantly plan about, something that you always talk about but never do. That Page of Cups really embodies that youthful spirit. Somebody that can go forward with their emotional outlook, and still embrace the world, have a sense of joy about it. That Page of Cups, he's kind of weird because he's just standing there. He's got his fish in his cup. He's just walking around talking to the fish, that's symbolic of the subconscious, of the emotional, spiritual arena of life. And that person, definitely has some insight into that. This could be a young Aquarius, or another water bearer sign. But like I said, with it being reversed, it could go really one or two ways. Either there's somebody or an aspect of yourself that's really, really in tune internally, with this aspect of, life, this spiritual, emotional side of life, or this is somebody or an aspect of yourself who is too childish, who is too out of balance, such that it's manifesting physically. But, don't worry, because you've got this renewed mental outlook that's going to help you, make the discerning decisions that you need to with regard to your day-to-day life, career, and everything. Looks like it's something that's going to require you to have mental acuity. Maybe you are an accountant or some type of counselor or something, somebody involved in planning, maybe even writing. I could see being associated with the Ace of Swords just because of that mental dexterity that's needed to craft the words in such a way, whether it's technical or creative writing. Um, 10 years from now, I see it being an emotionally prosperous time for you. Something where your emotions are used to bear physical fruit for you. Maybe you take inspiration from your love and relationships, and you use that in your work. Um, I feel like maybe you will go through a time of heartache or a breakup, just because this is the Two of Cups reversed. But it could also very well be a time of very internalized attention where, you're directing your love and compassion now towards yourself, which is going to facilitate your healing, because now, where you would have given that time and attention to another person, who it obviously didn't work out with, now you dedicate that time and energy to loving on yourself, to treating yourself better, so that you know what it is that you're worth and what it is that you are not worth. Again, that will lead to your healing, your growth, your empowerment, and all that jazz. Speaking of jazz, it looks like it's going to be a very harmonious time for you. Maybe this relationship doesn't work out, but that doesn't mean to say, that there isn't another one on the horizon. This is going to be a time where your efforts are going to pay off, in the realms that you want to see fruition, such as, in your work, love life, specifically dealing with yourself, having love and compassion for yourself, which allows you to have love and compassion for other people. This is going to be a time where you need to have some discipline if you want to accomplish these goals. If you want to ultimately see fruition on all of these things, you are going to have to set your mind to that goal, so that you don't get sidetracked, so that you don't lose sight of the things that you are trying to accomplish. Um, yeah, and I really feel like, this is about yourself, as far as this love and this compassion. It's almost like you're going to start dating yourself. You're going to learn to fall in love with yourself, which is all about accepting who you are, on a very deep soul level. Um, the journey for you at this time, is one where yourself is obviously needing some time and attention, I would say don't fight that. It's very important to me, that I have a proper relationship with myself. It's not to say that I can't care for anybody else, but how can I say it? It's the first example to myself of how to treat others. If I am mistreating myself, I may be more likely to mistreat others or accept mistreatment from others. When we have a proper understanding of what it means to truly love and care for ourselves, that tends to leak out into our day-to-day actions as far as how we treat the environment, as far as how we treat our homes, how we treat the various things in our lives, whether that be a job or a book or, an idea. It kind of has its way of just getting all over everything, which that is a mess that I don't mind. Love and compassion, is kind of what makes the world go round. It's what gives people hope, that there are still decent people out there in the world. So I feel like ultimately this is a journey. 10 years from now, you're going to be in a place of healing, hope, love, compassion, wisdom, new ideas, emotional, and maybe probably earthly abundance. Though, of course, you will have your time with heartache. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's all a lesson. It's all it is. Just take it for your growth. And keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, number ones, for the opportunity to serve you in this way. Please let me know in the comments below if any of it resonated with you, if none of it resonated with you. Don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell so you can be notified when I release another video. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday. Every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around 4 p.m. Central Time. Obstacles notwithstanding, because this video is going to be a tad late, but that's all good. Better late than never, baby. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Okay. Number twos. I think I already know which deck I picked. I think I chose number 3. Thank you, Moki. Okay, number 2's the rose quartz egg. I am not reading these reversed because I don't wanna. I'm not reading these reversed either because I don't wanna. And okay. Eyelash. Well, number 2's. Well, I know you see it. You got the reverse tower. The upright tower, it's not necessarily a bad card. None of these are necessarily bad cards, but okay. I'm not going to bullshit with you. This is maybe a catastrophic situation. Something of gargantuan proportions is going to totally change your life. Get ready for a reset. But the thing with it being reversed is you may be kind of fighting against it. You may not want to deal with this. Like, whoever wants to deal with a complete and total upset of their life, right? Nobody's asking you to be okay with that. But, the thing about change is, while it is scary, it is often necessary. I feel like right now you may be at a point where you are judging yourself or your life too harshly. You're giving yourself these impossible standards to live up to, and you're wondering why your shit ain't working like everybody else's. But here's the reality check, boo-boo. Your shit ain't everybody else's. Your shit is your shit. It's supposed to work how it's supposed to work for you, and only you can control that. Only you can author that. Only you can determine how it's going to go. And if you say that you got to live up to all these other impossible ass standards, then that's what your shit is going to be. Impossible. Full of woe and disappointment. You know, you got to take responsibility for the part that you play in it. Obviously, you can't control what other people do, but you can control how you respond to the shit that's going on in your life. You can definitely control, to a degree, the shit that you invite into your life. You know, and I feel like with this card, the Spirit of Truth, it is this whole 10-year period for you is being guided by gaining wisdom and understanding, how to look at yourself, how to look at your life through your emotional connection to resources. Because we got two normally very good pentacle cards that are reversed, which could be foretelling of a reversal of fortune, you know, or a situation that is not yet ready to come to fruition for whatever reason. You know, blessings, I feel like blessings are always on the horizon. They're always just about to happen. They're always possible, but, you know, we got to be in a state of mind to receive that, to even see them. They can happen to us, sure, but if we don't recognize it, you know, how can we even know, be aware that it actually happened? Excuse me. Spirit of Truth. I'm going to read from the book on this. I am the Spirit of Truth, the foundation upon which all things are built. I open the way to understanding, to an acceptance of the reality of things as they are. I strip away the veils of self-deception and walk the straight path to honor. I do not turn away from truth, however harshly it may seem. And my steps are always fueled with purpose and a determination to penetrate to the heart of any matter. So yeah, I feel like this whole 10-year period for you is being guided by the Spirit of Truth, which is why you are going to encounter this situation that seems like it just turns your entire life upside down. But here's my advice to you. Don't run from this shit. You cannot. It's coming, okay? But it's really designed to shake things up and put you back in a place where you are judging things based on reality and not just based off of your chaotic emotions. You know, you're going to come to through this situation, you're going to come to an understanding about judgment that says, I understand that everyone has their unique path and challenges. You're going to come to an understanding that your path is not everyone else's path. That you are not supposed to be doing the shit exactly as everyone else is doing it. You know, there may be a template, but you're going to put your own special stank on it because that's you. Nobody else is you. You know, we are all one. We are all connected, but the duality of this life is that we are also individuals. Nobody speaks or thinks exactly like you. Nobody wears their hair or their clothes exactly like you or walks like you. You know, everybody has their own unique perspective, and you are here to give that. I also feel like a source of this truth and wisdom that's going to come to you is through maybe some sort of ancient shamanic ceremony. Maybe you know a shaman already. Maybe you are the shaman. I know quite a few that have facilitated their own healing in extreme cases. But I think maybe a lot of times we encounter people, even if we only, you know, have them in our lives for a time, as opposed to permanently, that can kind of walk us through these situations. This is some ancient, as the card says, ancient healing wisdom. You're going to come, through this person and the situations that they invite you into. You're going to come to a situation where, you have an opportunity to partake in a ceremony where, it says invocation, which is when you invite spirit in, when you invite energy in, and obviously it doesn't have to be any energy. It should be the energy that you desire, which is, what do you want? That's the real question. Number 2 is, I would ask of you during this time, what is it exactly that you are after? I feel like you need to re-examine your emotional attachment to money and resources, because we've got this Father of Pentacles reversed. This would be the King of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite. You see that man. He's on his throne. It's very lush scenery. It's all green and it's pentacles, and you got the Taurus on his throne. He's very secure. But this King of Pentacles reverse, he's kind of stingy, kind of greedy. He's kind of paranoid because he's never sure what's going to happen to his money. He don't realize that the money isn't his salvation. The money isn't his source of abundance. It's the universe out of which all these things flow. So I feel like for you, Pentacles, this is going to be number 2s, this is going to be a time of giving. Either you will be doing some charity work, or you may be the person, because of this situation, that needs to accept the handout. It's going to be a time for you to see where your true wealth lies, or rather, where the source of your abundance, the source of your maintenance, the source of your sustenance really is. You may think it's your job and your degrees and all this other shit that you heap upon yourself, but when catastrophe hits, when extinction level event happens and all that shit gets wiped out, you're going to come to an understanding for real about what's really going on. I don't think it's going to be as bad as you ending up in a homeless shelter or anything like that. I just feel like it's going to be one of those trying times where you have to come to face yourself, where you're going to have a come to Jesus with yourself, as my old folks would say, so that you can get a new understanding. And with the rose quartz, it's all out of love. It's nothing that's actually meant to hurt you or harm you. Although it may not be pleasant. Again, I would say don't fight this. Look around and try to gather the lessons from it that are there for you. You got to respond to these challenges with honesty and with truth. Face your future with open eyes. Start to see beyond the illusions and develop some clear-sightedness. Pardon me. Let's see. Anything else? I think you will begin to bear some fruit, after a traumatic or catastrophic situation. After every end, there's always a rebirth. So again, like I said, either, you're going to experience the generosity of the universe, the abundance of the universe firsthand for yourself, or you're going to have it such that you are able to be generous and abundant and benevolent to others. Thank you so much, number twos, for this opportunity to serve in this manner. I hope this reading has been interesting and fun and a blessing to you. Please let me know down below in the comments what you think. Any ideas for my next pick a card reading? I'm always open to your suggestions, and I would love to hear them. Don't forget to hit that like button so you can let me know what you thought about it, and also the subscribe button and the bell so you can know when my next video comes out. We're going to be doing every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Okay, number threes, here we go. Let me just get these cards out of the way. Thank you, Rose Quartz. Who was it? All right. It's the pre-night. Oh boy. This is the deck that I chose. Okay. That's pretty. Interesante. Muy interesante. Okay. Well, number threes. This 10-year period is going to be some Shazam for us, because I see this Devil card reversed. That's a major arcana. Anytime you see that, you are looking at some archetypal, spiritual energy going on there. We're talking about major life stuff, major spiritual evolution. And with that, I feel like we're going to be really overcoming some physical temptations, some things that maybe we have held on to for a very long time that have kind of held us down, and kept us in a certain place. We're going to be coming into an awareness of our own limitations and boundaries with regard to certain outlooks and mindsets, things that have to do with emotion, things that have to do with following our passion, things that have to do with our work. This overall time period is being guided by the Journeyer, which tells me this is a time of growth and change. Hold on, I got some stuff in the way here. Okay, let me read about this Journeyer here. The Journeyer. I am the Journeyer. I accompany you on every journey you take in search of answers. I fly into the realm of spirit and encounter the beings who dwell there, the ancestors of all people and the guardians of our inherited wisdom and knowledge. I am the one who conducts you between the worlds, through the caves of inspiration, taking you on journeys to find guidance for all that you seek. Often I am silent, but when requested, I can bring my wide knowledge of journeying to bear on your question. Wow. Okay, so, this may be a time of seeking for us. Looks like we are going to locate that information that we're looking for. Mostly these answers as it relates to our emotional survival. We may be dealing a lot with the men in our life, because this is another major arcana, or more specifically the divine masculine, in terms of how we relate to that energy in other people, as well as how we relate to that energy in ourselves. Because nobody is just divine masculine or divine feminine. We are actually, regardless of our gender, we are all comprised of both of those energies. I guess for me, ideally, I would say they would balance out. But, the truth is, they are at varying amounts at any given point in time. Sometimes I may be more masculine some days, in terms of thought, speech, how I move, and conduct myself. And some days I may be more on the feminine side of things, where I'm much more softer, more of that yin energy, less yang, less explosive, and more subtle. Um, Even though, by default, my gender is female. So, by birth, I come through the divine feminine. But again, I feel like we are going to be dealing with that masculine aspect, at least as far as it goes emotionally. We've also got this Eight of Cups here, so I feel like this is a renewal of proper balance, proper perspective, proper information about this energy. This is the end of, what's the word I want to say? This is the end of stagnation and poor health. We may be moving on from some poor mindsets about this masculine energy, about what it means to be masculine. I feel like we may go through a time period where we are ill, but life has a way of mirroring what happens spiritually. And to me, this kind of fighting here, it's like we're fighting against ourselves, to purge ourselves of things that we don't need anymore, which can sometimes manifest as a physical illness when things are reaching their breaking point. And you may be purging spiritually and also purging in your body emotionally, to the point that it manifests as sickness. But I feel like this is a journey that is ultimately guided by our higher selves, our ancestors, so that we can have a way to the information that we seek. I feel like this is all being brought about because of and through an expanded perspective. We're being given in this next 10 years new ways to see ourselves. We are going to be lifting this veil, this fog that separates us from the information that we need. And that's going to result in embracing of the imagination. As this card says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Now that definitely rings a bell for me. I'm willing to bet that some of you other number threes are also creators. Maybe you are writers or artists. This may be your chosen profession, or a profession that you wish you had the time and energy and resources to get into. I would say do it. In any, start as small as you have to, but definitely don't give up on that. The world, to me, maybe I'm biased, but I feel like the world thrives on creators. We are the ones that introduce our perspectives into the world. And we inspire others. I was definitely inspired, still am, by creators, of things that I love, whether it's a book or a TV show, a piece of art. But just imagine if that person, those people hadn't taken that chance, to do that thing. I would never have known about Pablo Picasso or Frida Kahlo or Stephen King or Dean Koontz or Stan Lee or anybody, any of this work, what would we all be missing? What would the world be like without Banksy? Or Mozart, or any musician, that has changed the landscape of their industry just by being, a creator. So I feel like this 10-year period is going to see us embracing our imagination, taking ourselves to new heights, exploring our relation to masculine energy within ourselves and within other people. Some of us may be rekindling relationships with our fathers. And this is also just the presence of protective, decisive, and stable energy. Emotionally, we're talking about being clear of mind and in turn making proper actions and decisions. Solar kind of power here, which is going to, provide the light and growth for us to see this perspective through the fog, through the veil, so to speak. Thank you so much, number 3s, for allowing me to be able to serve in this way. If this reading resonated with you at all, or if you didn't like it at all, leave me a comment below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified when my next video comes out. I'm going to be doing these every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around 4 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Okay, number 4s. Last one. Thank you so much, Prentites. I appreciate you. I always talk to my stones like people. I don't know if that makes me crazy. A little whimsical, I believe, is what people would say. It doesn't hurt to put out that good energy. You never know. They might actually be listening. I mean, it's certainly a physical object, so it can definitely receive vibrations. I would definitely want to put positive energy into the things that are in my space as opposed to negative. So yeah, I don't mind being friendly. Thank you so much, Quartz. I appreciate you. Okay, number 4. Okay. Shaman of Stars. Okay. Just go turn this over. Daughter of Cups. 6 of Cups. Justice. Oh, excuse me, number 4s. Okay, number 4s. It looks like you're going to be going on a journey. Now, I don't know if this is just some sort of vacation. I think this may be some type of permanent move. Maybe there's a court case in your future. And the move that you make is enabled by the result of that. Like, you may be coming up with some money in the process of that. I feel like it's going to be a time where you are vulnerable in regards to your work and your money. You may be dealing with the scrutiny of others, people who are reviewing your work, or either just being damn nosy in your business where they don't have a reason to be, but you can't really do anything about that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just nosy for no good reason. Or, you know, if these are your supervisors, your superiors, your bosses, you don't have a choice to deal with that unless you want to leave the job. In which case, if you don't like that, maybe you want to consider going into business for yourself, because then you don't have to deal with people standing over your shoulder asking you what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. Then the only thing you have to deal with is just making your customers happy. In which case, I guess in that sense, you can't really get away from scrutiny. Because, you know, if you're going into business, you should care about you should care about what people think about your products, whatever that is. So I think this is a time where you're going to need to embrace being vulnerable. That's not a weakness. It sounds like a weakness because you certainly are making yourself available. But vulnerability is about exchange. Being in a situation with other people where you can exchange that energy, you know, without fear of being hurt or being judged incorrectly. I feel like this is going to be a time of returning to balance in your life, but also in yourself. The message for the Soul's Journey card here says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. I feel like that's going to be you taking control of your life, taking responsibility for what you personally allow into your life. Um, and, you know, just kind of accepting the part that you play in it. Um, the Daughter of Cups, she's about creativity, emotions. This card shows creative energy abounding from her. She's romantic, artistic, easily inspired by her surroundings. The person that is this Daughter of Cups, or this aspect of yourself, she's a dreamer by nature, though, you know, there may be a struggle here for you or this young person to stay grounded or to deal with harsh realities that come her way. There may be conflict of some kind, and this will be very greatly disturbing to this emotional creativity, creative person. The reason being because they are so open to the subconscious, to energy. They're probably some sort of empath. And, you know, any sort of disturbance in the force is going to make this person feel like, ugh, you know, like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. You know, this person or yourself really needs to learn ways that they can protect themselves. In the case where they're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, having stones around them is one way to do it. Regularly cleansing the space, laughing, taking herbal baths, going for walks, opening the doors and spaces, windows, I mean, you know, to get the air energy clear, maybe after a particularly emotionally charged time. Mantras, meditations. You can ward your space with runes or sigils. Black salt is also very effective. I got this from my good friend Freya over at Girls for Freya. This is Bitch Be Gone Banishing Salt. I'm actually working on some really cool little crafts with this. I hope to show you guys more of that in the future. Let's see. Because then we have this Six of Cups upright. So I feel like this may be a time where you are revisiting memories or childhood happy times that you draw upon during these instances where you are emotionally overwhelmed. The Six of Cups focuses on the magic and innocence of childhood, the roots of years past, or, look at the roots. They're very bright. The colors are vibrant. You can look back on these as old memories that you can just get lost in for, the good times that they were. I feel like you're going to be revisited by some old friends that are going to be seeking you out. They want to get back in touch with you. So it looks like in this next 10 years, you're going to reunite with somebody that you have been missing, or someone that's been missing you. Overall, it's a time for you to enjoy the simple a return to enjoying what is simple and pleasurable about life. Like when, you were a child, when you visit these childhood memories that are very nostalgic and peaceful for you. Let's see. And this whole mission, this whole 10-year period is being overseen by the Shaman of Stars. Let's see what they have to say about it all. Let's see. I am the Shaman of Stars. I bring the heavens down to the earth. I drink in the beauty of the sky, swallow this elixir, and give it back as transformative energy to all. I sing the song of the heavens, and I show how starry wisdom can transform and re-energize you when you have walked the path for a long time and have grown tired. I bring a blessing to you and the restoration of strength when it is most needed. I feel like with the link to the childhood, the rekindling, the vulnerability to change, even, this balancing aspect that's going on. This is a time for you to recognize ancestral pathways and relationships. This is going to be, again, a very transformative energy that is taking place in your life during this time. Changes in direction, reassessment, and ultimately an awareness of your higher purpose. Number fours, you may in fact even be a Libra, or you may be dealing with the Libra during this time. Maybe even a Virgo, just because you know how they like to have things a certain ways. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you so much, number fours. Did I say threes before? This was number four. I can't remember if I mistakenly said number three. I did not mean that. If I did, thank you, number fours, for the opportunity to serve in this way. If any of it resonated with you, if none of it resonated with you, please sound off in the comments below. I look forward to hearing everything you have to say. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you can know when my next video is coming out. I'm going to be doing these every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday by about 4 o'clock p.m. Obstacles notwithstanding. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.